You know, the world of cybersecurity is always changing, right? It's a constant battle. But every once in a while, a wave of innovation comes along that completely reshapes everything. Today, we're looking at the products that are doing exactly that, the ones defining what security is going to look like in 2025. So let's just dive right in. Okay, so to really get a grip on where things are going, we've got to ask a pretty big question first. In the digital battlefield we're all living in, what is the single most valuable thing for companies to protect, and at the same time, the most powerful weapon being used by both the good guys and the bad guys? Just think about it for a second. And yeah, the answer? It's a real 1-2 punch. AI and data. You absolutely cannot separate them. These two forces are at the very heart of every single major development happening in cybersecurity right now. They're the prize, they're the weapon, and they're the entire playing field, all rolled into one. And that right there, that brings us to the two biggest forces and, threats that are shaping the next year. It's the classic double-edged sword. We're in an arms race that is escalating faster than anything we've ever seen before, all thanks to these powerful new AI tools. Companies are scrambling to use AI to defend themselves, while attackers are using that same AI to build smarter, nastier threats. And what's at the center of it all? Data. And this is the key thing to remember. You just can't talk about one without the other. Look, at the end of the day, securing AI is a data protection problem. Every AI model is built on data, it's trained on data, and it can be tricked or poisoned with bad data. So it's no surprise that the products leading the pack are the ones that really get this deep, deep connection. All right, let's jump into our first big trend and see how this all plays out. We are literally witnessing the rise of what I'm calling the autonomous security guard. These are platforms that don't just give a helping hand to human analysts, they're starting to act like them. And in some cases, they're taking over their manual tasks completely. So the big buzzword here is the Agentic SOC. Now, a SOC, your Security Operations Center, think of it as the command center, usually full of people staring at screens, trying to connect the dots. An Agentic SOC, well, it kicks that up to a whole new level. It uses multiple AI agents, like specialized AI workers, that actually work together to investigate and shut down threats all on their own. Yeah, and this slide really breaks down that shift, doesn't it? The old school SOC was all about human analysts doing manual tasks, usually reacting to an alert after something bad already happened. It was just slow. But the new Agentic SOC, it's autonomous, it's proactive, and it operates at the speed of a machine. This isn't just a small step forward, it's a total revolution in how we think about defense. And believe me, the big players, they are all in on this. CrowdStrike CTO Ilya Zaitsev puts it perfectly. He says they're chasing this exact vision with their Falcon platform. The goal isn't just to automate a few tasks. It's about true autonomy, where a whole team of AI agents works in concert, taking over more and more of what a person does today. And it's not just them. Over at Palo Alto Networks, their CEO calls their platform, Cortex AgentiX, the next step in security automation. And the huge advantage they're talking about is the ability for these agents to respond to threats they've never seen before. You know, the kind of thing that used to take a human days or weeks of complex investigation. And look, this isn't just some far-off idea. To make it real, Palo Alto Networks is already shipping pre-built agents for very specific jobs. You need an AI to handle threat intel? Boom, there's an agent for that. Or automatically dig into a suspicious email? There's an agent for that too. This makes the whole concept of an agentic SOC something you can use right out of the box. Okay, so that's how AI is being used as a shield, as a weapon for defense. But what about the flip side? What about securing AI itself? This gets us to our second massive trend, trying to tame the AI Wild West. Because with employees using every AI tool under the sun and companies building their own, a whole new world of risk has just opened up. Well, SentinelOne is jumping right into the thick of it. Their CEO, Tomer Weingarten, calls their new prompt security portfolio a complete umbrella to secure AI. And that's the key idea here, total coverage. It doesn't matter if it's a public tool an employee is messing with or a custom app your company is running in the cloud. It all needs to be governed. And when they say umbrella, they really mean it. They're giving you visibility and control over what employees are doing with public AI tools. They're securing the AI assistants that developers use to write code. They're protecting the custom AI apps that businesses are building from scratch, and they're even getting ready for the next wave of agentic AI we were just talking about. Sierra's got another really smart way of looking at this with their AI Guardian platform. Their whole approach is just a logical three-step process. First, you got to know what you've got, right? So they inventory all your AI assets. Second, you watch how it's being used in real time. And third, you put up the guardrails to stop sensitive data from walking out the door. This is really the heart of what the industry calls Data Security Posture Management, or DSPM.
And Netscope is tackling a fear that, let's be honest, is keeping a lot of execs up at night. How do you train your own powerful language models without accidentally feeding them your secret sauce or sensitive customer data? Their platform is built to solve that exact problem, making sure that only safe, approved data ever makes it into the training process.
All right, so we've talked about the two huge trends, AI agents and AI governance. But that is not the whole story. Innovation is popping up everywhere. So let's quickly hit on a few other critical areas of security that are also getting a major 2025 upgrade.
I mean, just look at this. You've got companies like Proofpoint bringing data protection together for both people and AI agents. You've got Huntress and ThreatLocker locking down classic weak spots like user identities and software that hasn't been patched. Meanwhile, Arctic Wolf is simplifying tools for service providers, and Zscaler is using its own AI to automatically figure out what data is sensitive in the first place. It really shows that every single piece of the security puzzle is getting a major upgrade.
So when you put all of this together, what's the big picture? If there's one single word that sums up the future that these products are building, it's proactive. We are finally starting to move away from a world where we just react to bad things and into a world of security that's autonomous, predictive, and most importantly, preventative.
So let's just do a quick recap of the major players we've talked about. You've got the heavyweights like Palo Alto Networks and CrowdStrike, who are pioneering this whole Agentic SOC idea. And then on the other side of the coin, you have companies like Sierra, SentinelOne, and Netscope, building the essential tools for AI governance and data security. It really is a two-front war, and these are the weapons that are shaping the battlefield.
And all of this, it leads us to one final, pretty big question to chew on for the future. As we hand over more and more of our defenses to these autonomous AI agents that operate at the speed of light, it really begs the question, who or what is ultimately in control? That's the critical challenge we're all going to be facing as we step into this wild new era of security.